Very important. Every day you wake up with the sun. And in Belgium, most of days is dark, and after a long time, many people are depressive.
Welcome to today's podcast, Etienne from
Etienne
Belgium.
from Belgium,
That's
yes.
correct. My first Belgium guest, so I'm super excited to get a bit of insight into you and Belgium and your journey here, and also living life in Turkey, which we both can relate to, and it would be nice to compare our lifestyles here. But first of all, what brought you to Turkey, and when was that? How many years ago?
I think we came for the first time about 16 years ago to Turkey, and friends of ours have an apartment in Akbuk, so we can stay like 3 weeks in Didim, Akbuk, and it was very, very beautiful. We see the sea, we see everything every day. Good weather. So next year, the year after, we came back, and 1 year we came 4 times to Turkey on holiday. But it was expensive, so we decide maybe when we find something for buy, maybe we can buy a little apartment for coming in holiday.
Yeah.
So after 5 years, we are looking for something, and we found a little apartment in Didim, and we came here only for holiday. But it was not like an apartment for living long time, because it was a little bit far from everywhere.
Okay.
We have in summertime they have a shuttle bus, but wintertime there was nothing. So this was we decided to looking for something else for. So we find another apartment. It was a very nice apartment in one complex with swimming pool. But after 2 years, we decided to come there for living. But too many people in big complex and don't pay either. It was always a problem. 1 year there was no money for filling the swimming pool.
So for services and upkeep,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, and it was no happy for us, because in winter time we were alone, and we not happy. So we decide to sell our apartment to buy
and move for
buy
the
a
time?
new one.
Third time
Yes.
lucky?
Third time we found Gulya and Ayhan. They're wonderful people, and we found something for us. No swimming pool, relax, everything is closed. We have BIM, we have Ayus beer, we have sock.
So you have your amenities close by,
Yes,
more
yes.
accessible to the main areas in the front.
Yes, it's close hospital, it's close auto park, everything is
Yeah.
closed. So we are very happy now.
Because there is a big difference between visiting Altınkum and Didim for a holiday, and many would say it's a holiday resort. You know, that is
Yeah,
the case.
yeah.
I've found it doesn't shut down as much as some of the other areas in Turkey. You know, some of maybe the more bigger holiday resorts, but out of season they really shut down. And of course, it does get quiet here, but
Yeah.
it still stays alive. There are still many things open.
Yeah.
And give us a little bit of insight in the difference between it being a holiday destination and actually having the area as a home that you experienced.
For me, we came to Turkey for our health. So this is very important. Every day you wake up with the sun, and in Belgium, most of days is dark, and after a long time, many people are depressive.
Yeah.
So here in Turkey, it's nice to live. Also, it's not so expensive.
Yeah, cost of living,
Cost of living,
standard of
everything.
life. Hmm.
In Europe, it's 10 times uh, most money.
Yeah, you often find that the kind of a month's rent in some of the major cities can be
Yes.
your total fund, your total budget here for a month for everything.
Yeah.
And that's also going out for meals and having a leisurely lifestyle.
Yes,
That's
yes,
very,
yes.
very, very true. So, Bel, where were you from in Belgium?
From Ostend.
From Ostend, okay.
So we came from the coast to the coast.
Coast to the coast, but more sunshine on this one? More sunshine on this coast?
No. I living there all my life, and never I go to the sea because it's very dirty.
Yeah. And
Sound is very dirty. I don't like.
right, okay. So a bit of a shift.
Yes.
A bit of a shift. And can you give us what was life like in Belgium for you? So in terms of work, career, lifestyle, compared to here in Turkey.
I was working for 39 years in the post office. So I retired.
Hmm.
So we decided, me and my wife, to coming to Turkey for good life, for
Yeah.
relaxing time, for healed, and we are very happy here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
very happy.
vitamin D, the sunshine,
Yes, vitamin D.
does make a difference.
Yeah.
We've said it on a few of the podcasts now that there seems to be the 9-month and 3-month shift, but in the opposite directions. So in Turkey, we experience 9 months of sunshine, generally speaking,
Yeah.
and a 3-month period of winter.
Winter time.
In England and Belgium,
It's
it's
yes,
the other
yes,
it's the other way, right?
Yeah.
And also in that 3-month summer window, you can't always guarantee that it's going to be sunshine.
No,
There's no guarantee
no,
with that,
no.
and that is a big thing. If you can guarantee that you're going to wake up, I always say to people that you go to open your curtains and you can see the sun beaming through the top, and as you open them, it's like a 20 to 30% power up
Yeah.
on your day before you do anything, before you clean up or cook or have breakfast or start your day. That's an instant power up.
Yes, of course.
And I think if you to place a value on that, it's almost priceless, and especially when you talk about the impact on your health. And I know we spoke briefly before recording, is that you've had some challenges personally with your health along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us insight into healthcare here and what you've experienced? Because it seems evident now, speaking with people, that the quality of healthcare is incredibly high here. And now people who have never visited Turkey, or maybe only visited on holiday and never needed to rely on healthcare, maybe would have a preconceived idea that it's not as good, it's not as strong as Europe, as the UK and other areas in the world. Can you give us insight into that?
I can tell you, in the time I here in Turkey, I have 4 operations. So I can say the health and the hospitals here are very, very good, better than in Europe.
Right.
And
That would surprise a lot of people.
yes, and also when you are in Belgium in hospital, I tell you, you are a number.
Okay.
Nobody looking for you. But here, they's looking for you. They do everything, night and day. They coming. They also doctors. When you have, you can speak with the doctor. The doctor tell you everything perfectly. You understand everything. They have somebody. If you don't speak Turkish, they help you. They are talks. You have a Belgian talk. You can have an English talk. So they help you.
Hmm.
And I'm very happy. And 4 operations, 2 big operations, I am very happy here.
Wow, that's incredible to hear.
Yeah.
Because I hear people saying that it's lifestyle here is great, and they're so lucky. But if anything seriously happens, they've always got the UK or Europe to go back to their native country to have their healthcare system support them. And you're saying something completely different, which
Yes.
is really interesting. I think that would surprise a lot of people.
Because of Belgium, my insurance, they covered big part of the cost here. So they're working together.
Right.
So
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I pay my insurance in Belgium,
Yeah.
and they covered most of the costs of the operation in Turkey.
That is something I wouldn't have imagined that.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I know with having a residency here, part of that you need private healthcare, or you need your healthcare signed up, and I know the cost for me is very, very low for that to happen. You can't get your residency without healthcare, so
Yeah.
you sign up, and I was really surprised how cost effective that was, and the whole process of being a resident here in Turkey. When you look at Thailand, I think there was recently a post on social media advertising how easy it is to be a resident in Thailand, for example. But it was 19,000 euros.
Yeah.
Right? And you think, like, for 19,000, you could buy a property here.
Yeah,
You know, a
yeah,
small
yeah,
property,
yeah.
but you could buy a property here.
Yeah.
And I know, like, places like Australia, you know, the process, it might cost you $6,000, 6,000 euros, and you're not guaranteed to have residency. So it's an expensive process. It's a long, drawn-out process. How have you found that in becoming a resident here in Turkey?
Like 8 years ago, we must go to police station, and we have need some papers, one insurance, one paper of Belgian police. You don't have do anything like. You have to prove you have money on the bank, so pass photos, and we go and they make everything, and after maybe 2 months we have our but now it's much easier. Everything is with internet, with e-devlet, and you have also it's fast.
And the thing is, as well, you can get an agent to act on your behalf,
Yeah.
which again isn't very expensive, and then it's so streamlined. So it takes any issues of errors or mistakes that you might. Yes, you can do it yourself and online, of course, but I think approximately for 140, 150 euros, you get your 1 year residency. For 230 to 250 euros, you get your 2 year residency.
2 years, yeah.
I think many people listening to this and watching this will be like pleasantly surprised. My parents thought that it was like £1,000 per person. So when I came out here in October 2018, I thought I was staying for 3 months and then I would have to go. And it wasn't until I spoke to people I was like, no, it's 1,000 at the time. It's 1,000 lira. And you're like, really? Well,
Yeah.
why don't I just do that? And what I find really attractive is that once you start the process, because you've started the process, you can allow your tourist visa to run out because the process is in play.
Yeah.
And I also left the country during the process and came back, and you just had to show the paperwork to prove.
Yeah.
Which is like so easy. I can be so
Yes.
surprised where it could be guilty of thinking it's such a long, difficult, drawn out process.
Yeah.
So I mean, I love it here. You probably sense I really. I think we're both fans.
8 years ago there was like a little blue book. Now it's like a ID card you have,
Yeah.
so it's very easy, very easy.
Very, very easy indeed.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask you about kind of like your favourite places to eat, drink here. So like 3 places that you love to go to, whether that's a kind of an area or a certain bar,
Yeah.
restaurant. And before you tell me those, I've got to say, you guys have got the best beer in the world in Belgium. That must be
course.
something you miss.
Beer, chocolate,
Beer and chocolate.
and cheese.
Beer, chocolate and cheese. I mean,
Yeah.
what more would you want apart from the sunshine? Which have you noticed here in Turkey? They are getting better, like the IPAs. So years ago it was FS and Tuborg, right? And then you've got Bomonti. So you got generally, and now you're seeing like some Becks and Grolsch coming in.
Yes.
Lef
Lef yeah.
is here as
The
well.
Hoegaarden also.
Hoegaarden, yeah,
Yeah.
you see it so well.
Yeah.
Hoegaarden again.
Yeah. Hoegaarden.
Oh, I love it. That Belgian Dutch accent, I love. So the IPAs, and we've noticed a few small breweries popping up from Bodrum and Izmir, and I'm going to be at the end of the season creating a craft beer club. So I'm going to be bringing in beers from different breweries and bringing a bit. So I'll
Yeah.
give you a shout on that. But where do you like having whether it's a beer or a wine and a bite to eat? What sticks
We
out
have
for you?
3 favorite restaurants in Didim. One is Family Door.
The big steaks.
Big steaks.
Hakan, this keeps coming up.
Yeah,
We must do a podcast with
Hakan
Hakan
is
at
a
Family
wonderful guy. It's my friend.
I play
Hakan.
football with Hakan.
Ah,
I'm on the football team with him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wonderful guy. Always good service. Very nice restaurant. Very nice view when you're sitting there. Second restaurant it's in Apollo, near Apollo Temple.
Which one?
What's the name?
Yoran Bar.
Yoran Bar.
Is it really? It's my favourite up there. Well, Kairos for the meze,
Yeah.
but Yoran Bar is
Yeah.
just...
Also, the boss, he cooking himself. It's open kitchen. Mustafa.
People, I've had a photograph of Mustafa and they say he's like my Turkish brother, but 15 years older.
Yeah.
The long hair.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I love it there. Me and my girlfriend, we adopted a street dog, and it was from Yoran Bar.
Yeah.
So I've got it. Over the years,
Yes,
loved
a
going
wonderful
there.
guy.
Wonderful guy. It's tucked away, and you could be anywhere.
Yeah. Also, when you're sitting there in the evening, sometimes they playing live music.
Yeah, the guitarist.
And the third place is Mavi.
Mavi Kitchen. Yeah, I haven't been yet. I haven't. I know of Mavi Kitchen for years, but I've never been. And I've only recently. I was walking the dog, and then my girlfriend pointed out where it was, and because you can stay there, they've got swimming pool.
Yes. Now we have 2 or 3 apartments.
Mm-hmm.
Also one suite with jacuzzi. Very nice sitting there. Also in the evening when the lights are wonderful, you're looking at swimming pool, and also Yusuf and his wife are 2 fantastic people.
Yeah.
To talking, always friendly. They pick you up from home and bringing you back. So when you drink something, you don't have to drive your car. They pick you up and bring you back. So very good service.
Oh, fantastic! Love
Yeah.
that. And what's your favourite Turkish cuisine? Your favourite Turkish dish?
My favorite Turkish dish is Adana kebab. But in Didim, there are little places where they are real like Adana. 2 years ago, we are 14 days in Adana with my friends. They living there, and this was wonderful.
It's the real deal.
Real Turkish Adana kebab from Adana. Wonderful.
For those who were only listening, there was a literally you just sat back and was like you were reminiscing. I could see that. I love. I've been thinking, I might do like a podcast, a vlog, of just for 1 week only eating kebabs. That's what I think. Like visiting different kebab places in the area, maybe learning how they make them differently, and
every place is different.
Have their little twist on them for sure.
Some herbs they doing inside, it's different, but Adana kebab only in Adana.
I can see us eating some kebabs and drinking some IPAs in the near future. You and I, that's for sure. Tell me a little bit about the community here. What have you got a strong circle of friends, a network? How does that look?
Yes, I went also 2 years to Halk Eğitim Merkezi for learning Turkish. So after 1 year, I have my diploma for Turkish. But this was only a reason I say to my wife, when I go to Turkey, I want to learn the language.
Yeah, immerse yourself in the culture.
Yes. So I did it, and I'm happy now. I speak a little bit Turkish. I can help myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really great.
Yeah.
That's kind of because I tried to immerse myself in lessons and classes. I just struggled so much, and I was at a time where I didn't have that much headspace. I was so busy on a day-to-day basis. I know it sounds like an excuse, and it probably is. But I mentioned Hakan, and I play football with Hakan, and he's like one of my main translators, which is cool. But I'm really excited about. I'm not one for sitting in a classroom or reading a book. It's just not the way I learn. So to be in a sports team environment, and I'm the only non-Turkish player. So I'm really excited about that, because I think it's just set up for me to learn and also kind of like look a bit silly at the same time, and being with that group of players. So I'm super excited about that. But I'm curious, because we could talk all day about how it's great living here and all of the benefits, which we've already touched on many. But outside, of course, you've had your challenges with health and your first two properties, third time lucky. What has been maybe some other challenges that you've experienced since living here that some people could be mindful of and maybe avoid by understanding what you've gone through or identifying what you've experienced? Because it's not all plain sailing. I mean, the sun does help and the cost of living and stuff, but what have you found anything quite difficult of being here?
Difficult. Sometimes some people are not honest,
Right, okay.
and sometimes it's painful.
Yeah.
They try to use you a little bit.
Okay, so you're saying you kind of got to be alert and aware.
Yeah.
Maybe more aware. Would you say that's any different from anywhere else in the world, or would you say that's
I think
kind of...
everywhere in the world you have same.
Yeah.
You have same, but some people, they know you are from Europe,
Yeah.
and they thinking you are rich.
Yeah.
So
Just to be mindful of
yes,
that. Yeah. Because
yes.
I think
Sometimes it's a little bit, but if you go to France, if you go to Spain, I think that's the same.
exactly this. Yeah, and we had Rosie on as a guest on the podcast, who runs the Facebook group The New Altincum. I don't know if you've seen it, but she's got 14,000 members, and a forum like that is an avenue that wasn't available 8-10 years ago. So you've got something like that where you can drop any question, you ask for some advice and some support, and people are so willing to help. And I think it is that trust is such an important element wherever you are in the world. But also the kind of, we touched on the sense of community and the trust with that. Are there many Belgians here? Have you got a Belgian community? Do you know of many? Are you guys unique?
They are a little group of Belgians, and also in Mavishir, there are one complex there. We are many Belgium there. Green Paradise.
Is that right?
Yes.
Has that got a bar on it? I bet if that had a bar, that would be the best bar for beer in the area. They'll be just shipping Belgian beer in, won't they? We might have to keep that one a secret where it is. I'll ask you after the recording. That would be. I do miss, I'm just such a beer fan. And you guys in Belgium, you have a different glass for every beer.
Yeah. Also, and many, when you have a beer, you have also cheese from same beer.
Yeah.
So for this reason,
like that pairing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I visited Bruges, and that's just it's like the most beautiful place I've ever been to. I'm very lucky that I've travelled the world. But in terms of one town, I would say that's just the most beautiful. And I went the first time in winter, and it was like Narnia. It was all frozen in the parks, and horse ride, like horse-drawn carts, and blankets, and I absolutely.
It's beautiful views.
Absolutely love that. And your capital, we took a friend for a birthday, and I've got to admit I wasn't expecting much, because I envisaged it being very because it's government and banks and you think that it's just going to be like a city for that, and turned around the corner, and then you've got Delirium Cafe, which is 400 different beers, and your little squares, and I'm a fan of Belgium and Holland are up there with my favourite places in the world. So it's great hearing the accent for sure. Well, what over there? I mean, we may get a season here, but it's seeming shorter and shorter for people coming and visiting, and the place is coming more alive. But what are you looking forward to the most over the next 4, 5, 6 months about living here? Because the weather's getting hotter now, there are more numbers coming in, there's more energy and vibrance in the area, and some people like that, and some people try and stay clear when that starts to happen. Where do you sit with that? What are you looking forward to over the next few months?
Well, normally when we are here in Turkey, we visit some other places. So we take one company for doing like a trip for 4 days, 5 days. So we went to Cappadocia. We went to what's a water plateau was
Pamukkale.
Pamukkale.
I did that for the first time in
Yes.
November.
Pamukkale, wonderful. We went to the Black Sea, did a Black Sea trip.
Nice.
Samsung, beautiful Rize. Like
I haven't done Cappadocia, but it looks just one of the most beautiful
yes,
places in the
for
world.
me Cappadocia is more beautiful than Pamukkale.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Because I thought Pamukkale would be nice, but I was blown away with how spectacular. I did a hot air balloon over Pamukkale.
Yes.
Did you do that in
No,
Cappadocia?
because there are not too much people, and we are a little group, and they want a group of 15 people, and the weather was not so good.
So next time.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Is that on the bucket
Yeah.
list to sign off? Well, before we wrap up, I'd like to know what's your favourite season here in Turkey and why. I mean, you've been here a number of years now, so you've experienced all of them many times. Am I right in
Yeah.
thinking? What's your favourite season?
My favorite season is like the period between September and February.
Oh, well, so you're still getting the summer heat in
Yeah,
days,
yeah.
but you're also getting the rain and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
wind.
yeah. Because
That's interesting.
some day when it's rain, you can say, "Oh,
Thank
thanks."
the Lord.
Yeah,
Especially after like a super hot
yeah.
August.
Like last year, we have no rain between maybe half April, between beginning of November.
Well, even I think December
Yeah.
was 20-21 degrees
Yeah, yeah.
consistently so, which
Yeah.
shortened the winter a bit, which I'll never complain about.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
you're from Belgium and England that we are, you're just waiting for the winter to end, aren't you? That's an interesting question. That of course you get a lot of people, because people love the summers or you'll find it's too hot and they'll escape.
Yeah.
But likewise, a lot of people go to Goa or Thailand or cruises in the winter.
Yes,
So
but also here, this part of Turkey, the Turkish Riviera, it's most good from climate.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
And air condition, like
Air-
air quality
yes.
as well.
If you go to like same period in Bodrum,
Hmm.
you're sweating like. But here you have always air.
And breeze, yes.
And breeze,
And
yeah.
breeze. Well, thanks so much for joining on the podcast today. I just love the insight that you've given, certainly in healthcare, and thanks for sharing. I mean, you've certainly had a journey yourself, and it'll either people who are already here, who maybe would have jumped to go back to their country for healthcare, realizing that the quality here is so great, or people considering moving out or coming for an extended stay, realizing that you can be looked after here. It's not just feeling healthier because of the sunshine and the quality of food and the pace of life, but if something does go wrong, that you are looked after, which I think.
Also, I will not say, I will thanking in my name and name of my wife, Julia and Aigan from Vision, because they are wonderful people and they helping me and my wife a lot.
Fantastic, yes, awesome people like yourselves. So
Yeah, okay.
thanks so much for joining me today, and we will have a quality beer
Okay.
very soon.
I promise.
Cheers, much appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers.